Assalamu alaikum. This is your online session for computer studies for class 10th general, and I am your teacher Miss Saima Hurra. Welcome back again, students. In this class, we will be dealing with the different generations of computer. When we finally created the first computer, then later on advances were being made to make the computer more and more enhanced and advanced. In that notion, we categorize a computer in five different generations. The first generation, the main component of each generation is listed on your screen as you can see. The first generation used vacuum tubes, second generation transistors, third generation integrated circuits, fourth generation microprocessor, and fifth generation artificial intelligence. And it is this generation that we are living now. Okay, so going towards the very first generation of computers. Now, these are the computers that were the very first computer, the pioneers of the computing technology, right? So they were built during the Second World War, and they were very huge, gigantic computers, and they were not general purpose at all. Now, what do you mean by general purpose, girls? General purpose means that you and I cannot have these kind of computer in our home. The computer that you and I are running in our homes, schools, and offices are basically general purpose. They can do many different varieties, but these computers were specially designed for a specific task, and the main component of it was vacuum tubes. Also, they were very huge, and their maintenance was very difficult, and they were extremely slow and often caused malfunctions. So, the period and the classification of the first generation of computers listed on your screen. You may take the screenshot if you feel like. You can see the size was very huge, equivalent to a room, sometimes even taking up a hall. The language they used was machine language, primarily machine language, and sometimes assembly language. Mostly it was machine language. Now, what is machine language? It is the language of zeros and ones, right? Then the main component, as I earlier told you, it was vacuum tubes. Now, what are vacuum tubes? I will show you pictures. The input and output media are the punch cards. Now, you already know what a punch card is, that we have discussed in the history of computers, and paper tapes. Like the old videotape you must have seen, some tape of that sort, which was very difficult to maintain, and if let's say it comes out, then the entire data is destroyed. Storage media was magnetic drum and magnetic tape. Now, this is what you can have an idea regarding a vacuum tube. It has a filament like thing, a bulb like a glass structure, and it was very much similar to the old bulb that we used to have, now the yellow bulb which produce a lot of heat. Now so we are using savers. They are very much efficient, they don't produce that much heat, they don't consume that much electricity. But I'm talking about the old yellow bulbs, right? Which had this yellow light. So they used to produce a lot of heat, plus they used to consume a lot of electricity. And the same problems we experience in the first generation computer. They produced so much heat and they consumed so much electricity that it was very difficult for them to maintain. This is another example of a real picture of a vacuum tube. As you can see, they look like those bulbs. Person over here is observing how the vacuum tubes are working, plus the maintenance and the technical stuff for these vacuum tubes was required very skilled. Okay, now here are some advantages and disadvantages of the first generation of computer. And it was the only electronic device. Obviously, that is a huge advantage, because at that time we didn't have any such devices. Now if you are going to say something, see something like that so big, so huge, you are going to say that machine is useless. Why? Because we are having the technology of computer in our palms, like smartphones, like palm tops, like laptops. But at that time it was given very much important because it's the first of its kind. Also, it was the first device to hold memory. Earlier we didn't have any which can hold any kind of storage or any kind of data. The disadvantages, as I already told you, too bulky, too large in size. Not everyone can have it. Only huge organization or government can afford that. Vacuum tubes burn frequently. The maintenance of it was very difficult. And obviously, because of the vacuum tubes, they were producing a lot of heat. Maintenance problem, as I already said. Okay, now. Then we have the second generation of computer. So in second generation, the main component of the first generation, which was vacuum tube, was now replaced with transistors. As you already know, we had too many disadvantages of vacuum tube, that they burned very frequently and they produce a lot of heat. Its maintenance was very difficult. They used to malfunction. So then they came up with a new idea, new device, transistors, which was little smaller in size as compared to vacuum tubes, and also produce way less heat as compared to vacuum tube. But it doesn't mean that it did not produce any heat. Okay, so these you make use of the transistors, and they also had some sort of a printer and a tape and disk storage, and also had some memory. These computer became a little more reliable in comparison to the first generation of computer. Okay, to Balkins, this is the first generation computer we are showing you. Vacuum tube, they are showing the burning of the vacuum tube, maintenance problem. Okay, the second generation we have, the time period is mentioned over here. The size, obviously it is smaller than the first generation. Let's say if the first generation takes up a whole hall, they would take the room. The language that were used over here is assembly and high level. Now, as I told you, in first generation, the language used was machine language. Machine language is the language of zeros and ones. Very difficult language. It's not a piece of cake. Not everyone can do. Not you and I can easily manage it. We need highly skilled people to manage that. So, to overcome that problem, in the second generation, they replaced the machine language with either assembly or even higher level language. Assembly language is also difficult, but as compared to machine, it is a little better. High level language is obviously very easy. Then the main component was transistor. Vacuum tubes were replaced by transistor. Input output media, we have punch card and printed reports. And storage media, we have magnetic tape and magnetic discs. Now this is a picture of a transistors. Even in today, if you open up any electronic device, you may see things like these in your motherboard. Here is another picture. The green board is shown underneath, and on the top of it is a transistor. The one with the three legs, these are the transistors. Now advantages is that the size of the computer reduced considerably. Obviously vacuum tubes were larger, transistors were smaller compared to them, so the size will reduce. They became fast, and also they became reliable because the heat generation problem was minimized but not completely finished. Now again, the disadvantages are obviously heat very quickly, less than first generation, but still heat was there, and still there were maintenance problems. Okay, so I'm going to close my topic over here, and I'll request you to go through these topics again so that you have the key points of the first and second generation. Thank you.